Welcome back to another Jay's Cold Look video, and today I'm reviewing Marvel Legends Howard the Duck from Marvel Studios What If, from the Marvel Legends line, like I said a second ago. So yeah, a kind of smaller character, comes with one accessory. We'll kind of talk about that in a few moments, but before that, let's take a look at the package. Taking a look at the package, you gotta look at Howard the Duck with Scott Lang's head on the box right there. It says What If at the bottom, it says Howard the Duck on top. Gotta look at Howard the Duck on the side of the box right there with some other characters. We gotta look at the back, showing everything he came with. He came with the Build-A-Figure piece for Khonshu, but it's already built, so I'll show that when we get to the Build-A-Figure video. And then taking a look at this side, we got the list of all the characters from this wave, from the Build-A-Figure Khonshu wave. And we are now back at the front. So without further ado, let's take a look at Scott Lang's head. So here we have Scott Lang's head. Now this is from the zombie episode, so even if it's kind of small, I'm kind of happy to get this because I was a really big fan of that episode from season 1. Of course, it's supposed to look like Paul Rudd from the MCU, just in an animated form, so you be the judge whether it looks like him from the show at least. I think it kind of does from when I first got this. And he's kind of in a jar in the show, so you have this like plastic piece that can slide over this, and there you go. You got Scott Lang's head in a jar, just in plastic. It can come off really easily. It's not really snapping in. I'm sure if I tip it this way, it comes off as well. So yeah, yeah, that's the only accessory Howard the Duck comes with. He could have came with something else. I don't know. I feel like he had a weapon at one point in the movies, and I know maybe it wasn't in the show from what I recall. Maybe it was, but I feel like he could have came with some weapon or something else besides Scott Lang's head. Although I'm still a fan of getting this piece from that zombie episode, he definitely should have came with something else, and especially since Howard the Duck is quite a small character, kind of like Rocket and everything. Anyway, that's my thoughts for this segment. Let's now take a look at Howard the Duck. And here we have Howard the Duck. Let me restart. Okay, all jokes aside, here we actually have Howard the Duck, and again, he's quite a small character, but yeah, it's a very unique one. Again, I remember him from, I think, the Guardians movies. I don't know if I said that in this review, but I remember him in Guardians 1, I think he was in Guardians 2, and he was at the final battle in Endgame, so even though he's a small character and kind of niche, I'm happy to get him, because again, it's just kind of unique for the line. Anyway, taking a look at Howard the Duck, you kind of got his hat on top here. It's an orange color hat that has the same color as the suit. Has this brown trim on the top of it. Take a look at the head, just a duck head with this kind of light orange beak. You got some of his tuft sticking out from his hat right there with the hair. And taking a look at the suit itself, it's a orange suit, like I said earlier, some brown buttons going down the middle, a brown belt. He has a brown tie, and you can kind of see a white shirt underneath the suit. You have his kind of duck hands right there with some fingers, I guess. Same for this hand right here. And then moving down, he just has the same color pants as a suit on top, or the upper half of the suit, which makes sense. And taking a look at the feet, it's just that same light orange as the beak and everything, as these claws on the tip of the toes and everything. So, yeah. And here's a look at the back real quick. So again, kind of a small character. Should have came with something else, but part of me is kind of happy we got him in the collection. With that down, let's take a look at articulation. Taking a look at articulation, he can turn the head around 360 degrees like so. He may go side to side a bit, or maybe not. I don't think he does go side to side. I think it's just the way his head's on the joint. He does look down that far, so pretty good. He looks up that far, so just say a little bit. Maybe he does go side to side. Maybe a little. Anyway, moving on to the arms here. We can turn the arm around 360 degrees. He can pull the arm out that far. He can bend at the elbow, which kind of surprised me. I just learned this before I started recording. I did not realize he had a little elbow joint in there as I'm struggling to get it to bend. This elbow bend, I know that. So see, the elbows do bend, because that one, I just can't figure out why this one won't bend for me. Don't want to snap it or break it. Oh, there it goes. There we go. It bent. You can turn the hand around 360 degrees like so. There's no wrist articulation in the hand joints. Same for this hand. You can turn, no articulations in the joint. And then for the rest of the body, he does twist at the waist. Kind of shocks me there. He doesn't really bend, and well, nope, he does bend the ab crunch just a smidge. He can bend backwards that much, and then he can go side to side just a little bit, and then he can kick at the foot. Nope, he cannot. All right, no leg articulation. I guess they're kind of stuck like that, just given how tiny the legs are. He does twist at the feet just side to side a bit, and he doesn't do splits. So I guess he is limited at the legs, which part of me is kind of okay because I guess it helps him stand a bit easier and everything. But there's a lot more articulation up here at the torso and the arms than I thought there'd be, just given how small he is. But yeah, that's a look at articulation. Let's take a look at my final thoughts in the outro. Well, there you go. That is my review of How to Duck from Marvel Studios What If. Overall, he should have came with some extra stuff since he's kind of small, but I am happy to have the Scott Lang head. It'll go nicely next to all my other zombie characters from that episode. And so, yeah, he is a bit more unique than some of his other characters, so I am happy about that. But he is in that animated form, so if you could look past that, he may go nicely next to all the other MCU characters, especially maybe the Guardians and everything. So with that, let me know your thoughts of the video in the comments below. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Keep an eye out for other videos coming to the channel here soon. So with that, take care.